CBS Young and the Restless spoilers. Welcome back to our channel, besties. Today is a beautiful day, but honestly, I am barely holding it together to even hit record right now. We need to dive straight into the absolute madness that just went down because my jaw is literally on the floor and I cannot process this alone. Grab your iced coffees and buckle up because we are going for a ride. You guys, I am deceased. Stop what you are doing immediately. I am literally shaking. Wait, we need to talk about this now, because my soul has actually left my body and is currently hovering somewhere above the ceiling fan. I am literally filming this while I'm running errands, walking through the grocery store aisles, looking like an absolute maniac, because I just had to jump on here and vent. The sheer audacity of what just happened has me physically vibrating. Like, send help. I was mid-skincare routine when this scene dropped, and I literally smeared charcoal mask all over my pristine white rug because I had to yeet my phone across the room. We are not just watching this show anymore, besties. We are invested. I am personally attacked, offended, and totally living for the absolute cinematic mayhem that Nick Newman just unleashed upon our screens. Wait, backtrack for a second. I missed a step. My brain is mush. Moving on, let's just set the stage because the vibes have been so incredibly dark and twisted lately. Nick has been spiraling, right? Like, fully hitting rock bottom, checking out of rehab against medical advice, hanging out in dingy motels with random enablers like Marie Kirkland, and just drowning in fentanyl and cocaine. It has been a total dumpster fire to witness, and I have been stressing over his survival for weeks. But hold on, I should have mentioned this earlier. The drugs weren't just a random relapse. There was a specific dealer feeding him this poison. And not just feeding him, but literally flooding him with product. Nick, in a rare moment of actual clarity through the haze of his addiction, finally realizes that this dealer isn't just trying to make a quick buck. This dealer is actively trying to kill him. Like, straight up pushing lethal doses hoping Nick will just overdose and die in some forgotten corner of Genoa City. I'm literally hyperventilating right now, just thinking about how dark that is. Bestie, be for real right now. Who does that? Nick realizes he is being used as a pawn in some sick, twisted game of Russian roulette, where the gun is fully loaded by someone else. He finally snaps out of his drug-induced stupor long enough to recognize the pattern. The dealer is always masked, always overly generous with the stash, always pushing him closer to the edge, always whispering poison into his ear. And Nick, bless his flawed, messy Newman heart, decides he is not going out like this. He realizes his mistake. He sees the trap. And he decides he is going to handle it himself. Which is honestly so unhinged, like, call the police, call Adam, call Victor? No, Nick is going full vigilante mode, and I am genuinely screaming. So, Nick formulates a plan to catch this monster. He texts this shadowy masked dealer and sets up a meeting under the guise of needing a massive restock. Basically, he's baiting the trap. And don't even get me started on the vibes of this setup. It's giving high-octane psychological masterpiece where the stakes are astronomical. The lighting in this scene? Genuinely so moody. All flickering streetlights and ominous shadows in some abandoned alleyway. I swear I heard a weird background noise, like a stray cat knocking over a trash can, and it totally distracted me for a second because I thought it was a jump scare. Wait, I'm glitching. Okay, back to the main event. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Nick is standing there, sweating, heart pounding, waiting for the architect of his destruction to arrive. I am pacing my kitchen at this point, completely ignoring my boiling pasta water because the suspense is actually destroying my nervous system. The dealer arrives. He's wearing this creepy, obscure mask, completely hiding his face, moving with this arrogant swagger that just screams, I am the villain of this story. He thinks he's walking into a standard transaction with a broken, desperate addict. He thinks Nick is just going to hand over the cash and scurry away to destroy himself. But he severely underestimated Nick Newman. Did I say that yet? Ugh, my brain is mush. Moving on, Nick isn't there to buy. He is there to hunt. He is there to take back control of his life and find out who wants him dead. The moment the dealer gets close enough, Nick absolutely lunges. It is pure, unfiltered chaos. Nick tackles the guy to the concrete, and it is a full-on brawl. I am screaming at my screen. Get him, Nick! Get him! They are rolling around in the dirt, throwing punches, wrestling for dominance. The dealer is fighting back hard, clearly not expecting this broken addict to have so much fight left in him. But Nick is fueled by pure, unadulterated rage and the desperate need to survive. It's a messy, brutal, desperate struggle, and I am clutching my chest because I am literally too unwell to handle the gravity of these events. Every punch thrown feels so heavy, so loaded with all the trauma Nick has been carrying. Nick manages to pin the guy down. He's straddling him, breathing heavily, eyes wild with adrenaline. And then, in a moment that literally stopped my heart and sent my soul directly into the stratosphere, Nick grabs the edge of the mask. Besties, the dramatic pause here was so cinematic, I felt like I was watching an Oscar-winning thriller. The camera zooms in, the music swells, and Nick rips the mask off. And who is staring back at him? Who is the architect of his destruction? Who is the masked dealer trying to murder him with fentanyl? It is Matt Clark. I repeat, it is Matt freaking Clark. You guys, I literally had to pause the episode and scream into a pillow. Send help. Matt Clark? The same Matt Clark who has been parading around the Newman Ranch, living under Victor's roof, claiming he has amnesia, claiming he is a changed man, claiming he just wants peace. The same Matt Clark who convinced Sienna and Noah that he was reformed? He is officially on my do not perceive list. I am so done. The absolute, unmitigated audacity of this man to play the victim, to play the innocent, reformed citizen, while secretly donning a mask and dealing lethal drugs to Victor Newman's son. I am genuinely spiraling into another dimension right now. Let's unpack this because my brain is visibly buffering from the sheer audacity of the plot. Matt Clark has been orchestrating this entire thing from the very beginning. He knew Nick was vulnerable. He knew Nick was battling his demons. So what does this absolute psychopath do? He becomes the demon. He supplies the poison. He ensures that Nick has an endless supply of the very thing that will kill him. Why? Because Matt wants Nick dead. But he doesn't want to pull the trigger himself. Oh no, that would be too messy. He wants Nick to do it to himself, so Matt's hands look perfectly clean. It is so deeply twisted, I am legitimately nauseous. And the layers to this betrayal... Oh, hold on, I should have mentioned this earlier, but Victor Newman, the great, omnipotent Victor Newman, has been completely played. Victor moved Matt into the ranch to keep an eye on him, thinking he had the upper hand. Victor thought he was controlling the board. Meanwhile, Matt has been sneaking out, putting on a mask, and systematically destroying Victor's golden boy right under his nose. The villain arc is about to go nuclear. I am calling it right now. Matt has been faking being a good guy this entire time. Every apology, every confused look, every plea for forgiveness, it was all a calculated, manipulative lie designed to get him close enough to strike. Can we just talk about the look on Matt's face when the mask comes off? It wasn't fear. It was pure, unhinged malice. The gig is up, and he knows it. He looks up at Nick, who is absolutely paralyzed with shock and horror, and Matt just smirks. That smirk honestly, personally attacked my soul. How dare he? After everything he has put Sharon, Noah, and Nick through. Remember those terrifying fentanyl nightmares Nick was having where Matt was torturing him? We all thought it was just the drugs, just Nick's subconscious projecting his guilt onto his biggest enemy. But no, it wasn't just a hallucination, besties. The call was coming from inside the house. Matt has been punishing Nick in real life, trying to exact his sick revenge on the entire Newman family by taking out their core. I am literally shaking just narrating this. Bestie, imagine being Nick in that moment. You think you're fighting some random street dealer who is trying to exploit you, and you unmask him to find your literal worst nightmare. The man who has tortured your family. The man who has assaulted the people you love. The man who your own father is currently protecting under the guise of monitoring him. Nick's entire reality must be shattering into a million pieces. The psychological warfare here is astronomical. Matt didn't just want to kill Nick's body, he wanted to completely decimate his mind. He wanted Nick to die, believing he was worthless, completely isolated from his family, drowning in a motel room. And don't even get me started on the vibes of Matt's double life. By day, he's sipping coffee at the Newman Ranch, having polite, tense conversations with Adam and Victor, acting like a poor, misunderstood soul who just wants a second chance at life. By night, he's a masked predator, lurking in the shadows, handing Nick baggies of fentanyl, whispering poison into his ear, encouraging him to take more, to go deeper, to just let go. It's giving Jekyll and Hyde on steroids, and I am straight up unwell. The level of sociopathy required to pull off a double life like this is genuinely terrifying. Wait, I just remembered the aesthetic of Matt's mask. It was this weird, featureless black fabric thing, kind of like those sleep masks but terrifying. Anyway, totally random tangent, but it made him look like a sleep paralysis demon, which is fitting because that is exactly what he is to Nick. Okay, snapping back to the main tee. Nick is pinning Matt down. The mask is off. The truth is out. What happens next? The episode just left us hanging on this massive world-ending cliffhanger. I am physically vibrating. Nick has all the power in this exact second, but Matt is a slippery, manipulative snake. I need to manifest some unhinged prophecies for the grand finale of this storyline right now. Manifesting a total dumpster fire by the next update. Nick cannot let Matt go. He has to drag him, bloody and bruised, straight to the Newman Ranch and throw him at Victor's feet. Can you imagine Victor's face? The great Victor Newman, realizing he invited the devil into his home and gave him a front row seat to his son's destruction, Victor is going to spontaneously combust. The rage is going to be biblical. Victor thought he was so smart keeping Matt close, and Matt just made a complete fool out of him. But also, what if Matt turns the tables? Matt is a master manipulator. What if he starts screaming, claiming Nick attacked him unprovoked, claiming Nick is hallucinating from the drugs? Matt could easily spin this to make Nick look like a paranoid, violent addict who is completely out of his mind and attacking a reformed man. And honestly, given Nick's recent track record of checking out of rehab and doing drugs with random neighbors, who is going to believe him? Oh my god, I am spiraling. Matt could gaslight the entire family into thinking Nick has finally lost his grip on reality. This is a high-octane psychological masterpiece, and I am a prisoner to the drama. I genuinely cannot even begin to process how Sharon is going to react when she finds out. Sharon, who has been terrified of Matt, who has been trying to protect Noah, who has been stressing over Nick's rehab, when she learns that Matt was the one physically handing Nick the drugs, she is going to go feral. We are going to see a side of Sharon Newman that will make history. And Adam? Adam has been highly suspicious of Matt this whole time. Adam is going to unleash his inner spider and absolutely destroy Matt. The entire Newman family is going to unite against this monster, and it is going to be the most satisfying television event of the decade. Besties, this is the most insane, world-ending tea we have ever been served on this show. The audacity of Matt Clark to orchestrate this entire fake good guy persona just to murder Nick Newman via overdose is a level of villainy that I didn't even know was possible. I am going to be thinking about this for the rest of my natural life. I am officially unwell, my grip on reality is slipping, and this situation is now my entire personality. I need to go lie down in a dark room and process my emotional damage before the next episode drops. Until next time, stay messy, stay invested, and never trust a man who claims he has amnesia.